American Pickers star Frank Fritz's Illinois antique store has dead bugs, peeling ceiling, holes in floor. Exclusive photos obtained by the U.S. Sun display the worsening conditions of Frank's store. In one photo, a thick spider web lingered in a corner with bugs trapped in the silk. Dust, dirt, and dead leaves were collecting on the run-down floorboards. There were plenty of gaping holes in the uneven floor paneling, and paint chips were curling off the ceiling. Despite the dim lighting in the shop, dust was still visible gathering on several of the items. A dead bug was even stuck inside a display case. Fans have been vocal about their observations of the American Pickers star's degrading store. Needs more stuff. Get better, Frank, one fan posted on Google. The place is a little run down, but the prices are very reasonable, a second visitor claimed. We were in the store in February and very disappointed by what we saw, a third fan complained. What a mess, a fourth exclaimed. There is a horrible smell of mold everywhere, including the restaurant, yet a fifth reviewed on Yelp. Frank Fritz finds is in the back room of a restaurant and bar called Hog Dogs. The U.S. Sun has obtained several photos of the worsening conditions of the shops in recent months. Back in January, an exclusive set of photos revealed wooden floorboards sinking into the ground. In November and August of last year, more photos highlighted stained and cloudy glass display cases. The beginnings of the worsening cobwebs were also pictured at the time. Frank has been in and out of rehabilitation since September 6, 2022, when he was released from the hospital from his stroke on July 14, 2022. Because of his severe health scare, close friends filed an emergency appointment of a temporary guardian and conservator for the star on August 18. Mr. Fritz's decision-making capacity is so impaired that he is unable to make, communicate, or carry out important decisions concerning his financial affairs, the conservatorship documents declared. Midwest-owned bank has been appointed as the conservator handling Frank's financials. The petitioner requested Frank's longtime friend, Chris B., as guardian. Chris has been assisting him in decision-making since the stroke, the U.S. Sun reporter at the time. A source close to Frank's loved ones claimed the star is recovering at his own pace. He's been working really hard to not overdo himself and stress himself out and honor his health, the insider said. He's not overdoing it and trying to prove anything to himself, the source shared and continued. Frank is honoring what needs to be right now. He's just at the nursing home for physical therapy, the insider revealed. I hope he bounces back, the source stated and concluded optimistically. I have faith he will. Nestled on a quiet Illinois street, Frank Fritz's antique store stands as a relic of both the past and present. For fans of American Pickers, the shop was once an extension of the man himself, a space reflecting his passion for uncovering hidden gems and reviving forgotten histories. However, recent reports paint a less than ideal picture of the famed Pickers' once vibrant business. Dead bugs, peeling ceilings, and holes in the floor suggest that time has taken its toll on the store. Yet, beneath the surface of decay lies a compelling story about nostalgia, human imperfection, and the ever-shifting nature of treasures. A shop frozen in time. Frank Fritz's Illinois antique store has always been more than just a place to buy and sell relics. It's a museum of memories, curated by someone who sees beauty in the discarded and value in the overlooked. But walking through the store today feels more like exploring the ruins of an old estate than a bustling emporium of Americana. The front door creaks loudly, its hinges worn down by years of visitors. The wooden floorboards groan underfoot, some so weak they threaten to give way. Sunlight filters through the dusty front windows, casting shadows that accentuate the peeling paint on the ceiling and the cobwebs in the corners. It's as though the shop itself has become an artifact, aged and weathered like the items it houses. Shelves once brimming with neatly arranged trinkets now appear haphazardly stocked, some items obscured by layers of dust. A row of mason jars filled with marbles sits next to a vintage Coca-Cola sign, its once bright red faded to a muted rust. Nearby, a rusted typewriter serves as a makeshift perch for a family of long-dead moths. The floorboards tell a tale. The holes in the floor are perhaps the most jarring feature. In some places, they're small, as if caused by years of wear and tear. In others, they gape wide enough to expose the understructure of the building. These flaws are not just hazards but metaphors. For Frank, the picker who spent decades traversing America in search of treasures, these imperfections might once have been seen as part of the charm. He often spoke of the story being as important as the item itself. A hole in the floor. That's just history breaking through, right? But for visitors expecting a functional shop, the decay is disheartening. Local residents recall the early days of the store when Frank was actively involved. It was like stepping into a living episode of American Pickers, says Diane Wheeler, a longtime customer. Frank was always here, always chatting about the story behind every piece. Now, with Frank largely absent from the store due to health issues and personal struggles, the atmosphere has shifted. The holes in the floor seem to mirror the gaps in his life. A man once defined by his energy and passion, now facing a quieter, more uncertain chapter. An invasion of unwelcome guests. The presence of dead bugs is another sign of neglect. On one shelf, a line of glass bottles stands as a testament to Frank's love for vintage advertising. But a closer inspection reveals the remains of insects trapped inside. Cobwebs stretch between the items, suggesting that no one has cleaned the space in quite some time. It's sad, says another visitor, Mark Jennings. You walk in and think about how much this place used to mean to Frank. Now it feels abandoned, like the store's been forgotten, just like some of the things in it. Yet there's a strange poetry in the decay. Dead bugs and cobwebs have a way of reminding us that time marches on, regardless of our best intentions. The store was once a place where history was preserved. Now it seems to be consumed by history itself. A peeling ceiling, a fading legacy. The peeling ceiling is the most visible indicator of decline. Once painted a clean, inviting white, the ceiling now hangs in tatters, with strips of paint curling downward like loose ribbons. The damage suggests years of water leaks, perhaps from an old roof that's seen better days. It's like the building is crying, says a customer who prefers to remain anonymous. Frank's store was supposed to be about preserving the past, but now it feels like the past is eating it alive. For those who knew Frank during his time on American Pickers, this state of disrepair is deeply ironic. The man who championed the preservation of history now faces the loss of his own legacy, at least in this small corner of Illinois. Hope among the ruins. Despite the current state of the store, not all is lost. Loyal fans and local pickers have expressed interest in helping to restore the space. This place has so much potential, says Dana, a collector from nearby Davenport. If someone put in the time and effort, they could bring it back to life. I think Frank would want that. There's also an undeniable allure to the shop's imperfect charm. For the right kind of buyer, a dusty, cobweb-laden treasure chest is far more appealing than a pristine boutique. The shop may not be what it once was, but it still holds stories waiting to be uncovered. Frank's journey reflects his store. Frank Fritz himself has faced his own challenges over the past few years, including health issues and estrangement from American Pickers. Fans worry that the state of the store reflects his personal struggles, a visible manifestation of the battles he's fought behind the scenes. But there's also a resilience to Frank's story. He's a man who has always believed in second chances, in finding value where others see only trash. Perhaps his store, too, is waiting for its second chance, a revival that would honor the legacy of its owner. The future of the store. As it stands, the future of Frank Fritz's Illinois antique store is uncertain. Will it continue to crumble, becoming just another forgotten relic? Or will someone step in to restore it, breathing new life into the space and carrying forward Frank's passion for history? One thing is certain, the store is a testament to the impermanence of all things. It's a reminder that even the most cherished treasures need care and attention to survive. And perhaps, in its current state, it's also a call to action, a plea for someone to pick up where Frank left off and ensure that his love for the past continues to inspire future generations. For now, the store stands as it is, imperfect, haunting, and strangely beautiful, a reflection of the man who built it and the countless stories that have passed through its doors.